Hey guys, Sujo over here. Welcome back to another video. So yeah, this is actually my day two out here in Saigon. I just thought of I want to talk about this topic, my bad experience with Airbnb in Vietnam. So yeah, so I've been living out here for over 7.5 years, um, and I've had some bad experiences when it comes to booking a studio apartment with Airbnb here in Vietnam. So yeah, so I'm also going to take this example. I've actually taken the studio apartment with Agoda, but this is exactly how it was when I used to book back then with Airbnb in Vietnam, especially Ho Chi Minh City. And of course, the current news right now is that Airbnb is banned in Saigon. So, as an expat, I just thought of sharing this, my personal experience. So yeah, I mean, whenever I booked a few studio apartments out here in Ho Chi Minh with Airbnb. So the first thing is that like when I actually communicate with the host, right? Um, it's just like very limited communication, right, between me and the host. And the host, I'm talking about the Vietnamese host, right? So usually, many of them, they're like agents. They have a lot of different. They have a lot of types of different properties here in Vietnam. Let's take Ho Chi Minh for an example. So they act like middlemen, and of course they get a cut of the commission or whatever it is. So I'm not much into the details. Somebody can actually make a video of how exactly is um, is the process out here, renting Airbnb out here in Vietnam. I mean, exposing the underbelly. If any expat YouTuber can actually make this kind of video, then I would highly appreciate that, right? So the classic exam would be a very limited communication. Okay, so when I actually make the payment and when I come to the property, the host is never there, right? The host will or he or she may text me on Zalo, which is equivalent to a line app in Thailand, right? Here, people in Vietnam they use a lot of Zalo for communication, for back and forth. It's a chatting app, right? Uh, I think it was created by VNG Corporation out here in Vietnam. Anyways, right? The host is never there, right? They'll just text you when you arrive, and of course they'll give you instructions, the keys out there or whatever. So I think it would have been nice that if the host would come and meet me and say that, okay, here's the key, show me the room, show me the product, show me the apartment. But it's just like playing those hide and seek games, like uh, like creating the puzzle, like give you instructions, go to the key card, you know put this code, get the key or whatever. All right, so that's kind of a cold type reception, which I usually get when I used to book with Airbnb out here in Vietnam. So the thing is, I mean, I hate to say this, but once you give the money, they start playing games, right? Some of these hosts, I'm not saying all of them, don't get me wrong, they're also good. There were also a few good Vietnamese Airbnb hosts with whom I've stayed with whom I've interacted with. So, but most of them, I would say like 80% of them, if you're booking like an apartment or a studio apartment out here in Vietnam, especially Ho Chi Minh City, they'll start playing some fucking games with you. Like, they'll start making some problems with you. Like, Maybe the TV control is not working, or maybe the Netflix is not working, the internet is very slow. um, the internet is very slow, or lack of kitchen amenities. You don't even have like, I've had situations where I've stayed with the studio apartment out here in Ho Chi Minh. They didn't give me any spoons and forks. Like, I asked the host, "Can you provide me?" The host, she told me that you can go and buy some plastic spoons from Kmart. Sorry, from Circle K. I mean, they know how to play games. Once you give them money, um, it's just that they start creating a lot of problems, a lot of complications, and especially it depends what kind of people they want to entertain who are going to rent up these apartments, right? It could be a short term or long term. Like I said, I'm a person of color. I'm not a Caucasian expat, and I'm from India. So, I've had a lot of these experiences. I've had also a lot of these discriminations which I've encountered with the hosts. Sometimes they talk rudely, they text me rudely, or, they take me for granted, and emotionally and psychologically, it really gets on, right? It really gets on, and I feel very uncomfortable, um, because I feel like every single day is a very challenging day, because they could make my staying in the property very difficult, right? So, like I said, internet is slow, or they cut out the internet middle of the night. And the host would say, "Oh, the internet is sleeping right now," whatever shit. And And of course, what really pisses me out are, like, I'm taking a nice apartment, I'm staying, and there's going to be a lot of banging around at the corridor. The cleaners or the staff, they would be rude to you. They would give you that cold attitude approach. They would bang the doors around, make your living like, they'll make your living in the apartment like a living hell, right? Or maybe, loud noises coming from the roof. It's like a shit show. I mean, they take the money. There's a say that, uh, a lot of, you can get very easily scammed out here in Vietnam. Um, I mean, right now I do understand there is a ban on Airbnb out here in Ho Chi Minh City, but I think they should do it for rest of Vietnam, and of course, even booking apps like Agoda, where I'm a platinum member. I think they should seriously look into this, because they're also giving studio apartments for short-term stays and everything. But, if I'm going to be taking a place, I would like to live in comfort, not with hearing a lot of banging of the doors at the corridor, or, not providing proper room cleaning services. I've even had a Vietnamese host. He told me that, we charge for room cleaning, okay, and, the trash and everything, you got to take it out yourself. I mean, keeping their expenses to the minimum and making sure that I spend a lot of money from my pocket on top of what I've paid for my Airbnb. So, where's the value to that? Where's the value to that? I mean, do you think I'm going to have a comfortable stay? I mean, I never had that kind of a situation where I would argue with the host, or the host would easily tell me, pack your bags and get the fuck out of here. But it's happened to a couple of expats out here in Vietnam where, the Vietnamese hosts, usually they stay with the family. The host could be a family, or could be an agent having affiliation with a lot of different studio apartments, taking the cut. So I want to understand, what is this process like? How do they start fucking around with expats, who book with Airbnb out here in Vietnam, and just giving a hard time psychologically, emotionally. Cleaners don't come and clean the room, apartment. They'll avoid you. They just take the fucking money and they take you for granted. Yeah, so I've had these experiences, and I think this is a welcoming news that Airbnb's got banned out. I mean, Airbnb is banned out here in Saigon, and I think even other booking apps like Booking.com, Agoda should seriously look into this. That for the well-being of the guests who are going to take the studio apartments. I'm not talking about hotels. Hotels is a different story out here. If I have an issue, I can actually go down to the receptionist. I can talk to the receptionist, or sort it out. That's not a problem because I know there's a physical person present at the reception. But like these cat and mouse games where I don't even know who the fucking host is, or maybe the host is living next to my is living adjacent to to my apartment. Or I've even heard stories of certain hosts out here in Vietnam installing hidden cameras inside these plug point sockets and all those kind of things, and listening devices eavesdropping on you, especially if you're taking those 1 week stays, 2 week stays. Um, it's happened to me. I've experienced this kind of ill treatment. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share my bad experience of renting Airbnb out here in Vietnam. So just be a bit cautious. I don't know if it's fully in effect, Airbnb, renting Airbnb out here in Saigon, but I think they should ban it all over Vietnam. And of course, like booking apps like Agoda.com, Booking.com, they should seriously scrutinize, especially for guests who are taking these apartments, studio apartment. Because the last thing you want is a guest like me having emotional damage, knowing that a lot of banging going around, at the corridor, the cleaners are banging around, or the host is treating you like shit, limited communication. I mean, I got to spend more money, lack of amenities, and all those things. So yeah, you need to look into all this, because there are a lot of scams out here in Vietnam, and you got to be extremely careful. Once they take the money, it's the ball is in their court. They can do whatever they want. They can make it very difficult for you to live at an apartment. All these beautiful pictures of these nice studio apartments and all that looks very tempting, but living there, staying there is a complete different scenario altogether. So yeah, you let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Like, have you had bad experiences with Airbnb out here in Vietnam, renting an apartment with Airbnb out here in Vietnam? I would love to hear from you as an expat. Yeah, if you found this video to be informational, you can always buy me a coffee. The link is down in the description below. So, with that being said, you guys have a great day. This was me, Sujoy. Peace out.